Yeah, because did you do patrol for Brightline?
I know a long time ago.
Do you guys use patrol maps in your vehicle at all? Do you have like
Maps we have, just show what the different numbers are. Mobile homes, because the numbering is so weird, there's like 650 units in some of them. So they have like 55 on one side and 248 on the other. So it's hard to memorize everything for the street, so that we'll have a map that says, all right, this is where space 258 is, this is wherever. I don't have one like saying a street grid saying this is Bryant, Clay, Delaware, Detroit, you know.
Is there any way you guys differentiate between public and private property?
Kimberly Hills, Holiday Hills, a lot of those private property per se. Then they approach the city and said, would you have an ordinance? When they come in and enforce traffic laws on our property.
Like an easement, yeah.
So that's how they do it. So if you run a stop sign there, you consider it a violation of the traffic law, even though it's private property, because it's designated enforceable there. Like if there's a stop sign, they say King Soopers, it says please stop and run over pedestrian, but I can't enforce that one.
Is that what he's saying?
So, but the parking rules and stuff, or if you have an accident there, it's careless, reckless, and DUI can be enforced on that private property. But that little stop sign.
Because it's not necessarily a road. Is the Safeway there, is that private drive for purposes of not?
Once you get in on the parking lot, that's private.
But the actual, like where the cars wait to take a left and
So all the lower areas where the median is.
yeah, the private Moncton median, is that public or is that private? Or more specifically, is it applicable to your solicitation statute, because that applies to roads only?
It's, that part I can't answer for you. Give you a big picture. I worked here many years ago. They asked me to do this part-time here. I retired out of Denver Police for 33 years. I enforced the ever-loving crap out of trespassing and the panhandling because it was a horrendous problem down Colfax and Spear, Colfax and everywhere. Spear and Stout, so just all over there. And beyond the medians, the city passed an ordinance. Part of it was no pedestrian on the roadway, so they couldn't step off the curb and go up to the thing there. And they could be on one side of Spear and Stout. That was considered off the public thoroughfare, as long as they didn't step in the street. And on the other side, you got light rail here and traffic here, so they couldn't be there, but that's where they wanted to be. The Stout goes underneath the convention center. I have a lot of them that would do it with the off-ramp, I-25, they come on to Colfax, and they would be there. Now, that's pedestrian on the roadway on top of, on the Gore ramp, or the I-25, and they can't have a pedestrian on that.
Regardless.
So that's real specific. Now, what they have here, I haven't read the ordinance to say, I was gonna say, curb line, the red light in the intersection, that's all public thoroughfare. It's US Highway 287. Once you get inside that, and you're talking the private property of the owners of the shopping center.
Yeah.
Okay. Sometimes they'll have a deal where there's no soliciting. I'd have to read some of the stuff that I haven't kept up with here.
We usually have like on a formal warning basis, if they don't care, someone's there, then that's never a problem.
You can call a lot of complaints, it's like, you know, you familiar with downtown at all?
Oh, yeah.
You know where the King Soopers is there on Spear, 14th?
No.
There's a King Soopers there, above his parking garage and across the streets from Cherry Creek. Between the two, they almost go back and forth there just like hundreds a day. And we had cars flung where they would sign saying nobody will this should be here on night for trespassing. You just notify us when it's been reported. You got carte blanche to enforce it if you need to, without calling me 3 o'clock in the morning and asking such and such. Should be. By the time it was all done and said, I had one to deal with like a ton of people.
Very interesting.
Because all of that area down there was just overrun, and just jump in the doorway and piss on everything, and
You know what's very interesting about that? Case law has found that when police officers act as a registered agent for a business for purely private entity policy violations, they're actually not acting under the code of law. So it was like,
it's like health trespassing.
it was like, you know, taxpayer dollars going toward just enforcing private policy. That's like totally illegal.
That's, it's kind of different. I worked out duty for 38 years between a couple, 3 different bars and stuff. And I was working out duty there in full uniform. Okay? My obligation to them and to the Denver Police Department was I don't enforce house rules. Sitting on the pool table was a house rule.
Yeah,
Using
exactly.
the
Policy
thing there, now
violation.
that's not a law violation, it's just above itself is like that. I didn't test those. Whoever worked there would look and say, please don't put your drink in the middle of the pool table or cause us rain. No, well, screw you, da, da, da. Now they can say, you know, please comply or you'll have to leave.
And
And
then,
then, then he tells me, he goes, this person did this, this, and this, I asked him to leave, they refused, and now it's mine.
yeah, it was a statutory trespass.
See, but that's the difference. Now with trespassing, whoever has control of the property can tell whatever agent they choose, you can enforce this for me. I give you that authority.
For private entity policy, though,
But it's a law.
well, it's only a law after they refuse. So if it's like telling a skateboarder to get off.
Well, yeah, but
Well, it's posted as a personal violation.
how I was enforced it is, how many times I talked to this person. And they know, because we talked before. I was just brand new, they're going through there, and it goes, I'm just walking through the middle of it. The big picture is, why am I there? Who called and why am I there?
Well, true, but the whole
Then,
point
then
is,
it goes from there, is it posted, or is it a fence there? I don't have to post no trespassing on a fence. I can, but I don't have to fence is saying, please don't trespass. You jump the fence,
could be
you're
implied that, not
trespassing.
necessarily.
Uh,
But the thing I have a contention with is, if the business owner doesn't inform them first of some personal policy violation, you simply taking the time to enforce their personal policy violations are doing something that is not sanctioned by the government. You're using taxpayer dollars for some personal business, which is totally
It's
illegal
not
in the case
personal,
law.
it's what it boils down to, is 3 o'clock in the morning, and you own this property.
Well, then they should hire security after hours. I mean, think about it this way. Taxpayer dollars, what if they just made some arbitrary policy that they just don't like skateboarders?
It's gotta
Are
be a
you?
law. It's gotta be a law.
Yeah, the law would only, like you said, it would be if they refused a policy that was given to them, and it's trespassing. But you giving out policies is like taxpayer dollars is poop for some business. Because if some business could have like red shirts, you don't like red shirts, and then you're going around enforcing red shirts. That's wasted taxpayer
See, that's not a law. Trespassing is, it's written, if you
Yeah.
do this,
But giving the order of a formal warning for a personal policy violation is not in your purview. It's only if they refused that, and now it's trespassing. And so, by you doing both the informing of the personal policy and then doing also what happens to be there as a convenience factor for trespassing, you're doing two persons' jobs. Very. There's just a bunch of case law that says it's a big no-no. So that's why I was a little concerned with that.
give you for instance, I don't have to think, you look at the house across the street, all of them next to it, did you see no trespassing sign?
True.
Now, you go to their backyard and they're trespassing. You're actually in their house, for some reason they say it's time to leave, and you say, how would you make me? Are you trespassing? There's no sign.
I think with probable cause, you have to have spoken to the business owner or the private property owner to ascertain that they in fact did tell them to leave and that they did in fact refuse before you can go as. Well, actually, a sign means nothing. A sign literally, according to case law, literally means nothing. Like, you have to be personally communicated.
The sign suffices, you know, 99.99%. I've never seen a judge saying the sign wasn't sufficient.
Well, the whole point is if you saw a skateboarder standing in front of a sign that said no skateboarding, could you instantly get him for trespassing? I don't think so. I
It's not
think.
that he voted in his arm, no, but I would point out and say, don't hear.
But if he's on the skateboard at the time you see him, you automatically going straight for trespassing? Because he wasn't even told to leave
I
yet.
talked to him before, and this is the second time he gets a ticket.
Well, that would be
This
if
is
he
the
had a
first time
personal policy
that I'm aware
violation
of.
told them.
So the person, give me an idea, the person calls me, this guy is this time I'm talking about getting off of Gary Zoo, and I see him as he goes by. I ain't gonna chase him down on foot. Now, I was downtown, I was on a motorcycle, I get it. But I was in a car and he ran down the mall. Then by the time I tried to get through the traffic and the pedestrians, but I saw him. Now, 2 days later, I seen him under there, I seen him doing it. I had the previous call, or they called me again. They go, what was about the warning? This is my first time. And I said, no, it's not, because your dad was here. Person pointed you out to me. I saw you, I recognized you. I couldn't catch you to tell you not to do that anymore because you're that. There's nothing in there that says I have to give a warning ever. If it's,
Well, they have to at least
The
be warned
obvious.
by somebody that's part of the business.
The signs and
Prior.
signs enough.
Oh, man.
Most of them are.
Oh, man, that's like really
You
bad.
check it out.
No, yeah, well, we already have it, skip struck
If you
down.
have a
actually.
case law to bring to my attention, I'd be glad to read it. There's nothing I'm worried. Now, I'm not a
Yeah.
lawyer.
Actually, there is a very new case law that refreshed it recently, I'll give that to you, where they couldn't find the guy guilty because they couldn't prove that the sign was put up by the business owner. So now there's a new element that you have to still talk to the business owner to make sure they were the ones that used the sign in the first place. But still, the sign would only be something for no trespassing. If it's a no skateboarding sign, if it's a no red shirt sign, then it's always got to be, like, people allow people to break their signs all the time by personal preference. And so by putting up a sign, it kind of entraps them. That's why you always have to go off of the person. So the reason why I'm so concerned, generally speaking, was so the private drive that we were talking about, the 103rd, Safeway there. That one is, if you look at the Adams County website, definitely private property, not a road in any way, shape, or form, not a street by the definition of the municipal code. So the solicitation statute would not hold up, and it hasn't held up. And the scary thing is my brother and I, we fell on hard times, and we were pinning for legal help. So it's interesting, we're in a conundrum. We were like a decade of legal problems. We found out we just needed like a couple of dollars for the basics, so we can have our time back to do legal stuff. So it's one thing to get money for free, or they were paying it forever. It was just a strange place. We had this high rights. We found out that there's now 5 cops in the county that come up to us and say, you got to move along. And then when we challenge them, sometimes we'll be false arrested. Every single time they find out quickly that there is no penalty statute applying to us, there's no state statute applying to us, there's no being a lawyer, stepping out, anything like that. And what's the scary thing is we've actually exercised that right to get a private drive, really not in other places. And the business owners don't seem to mind. At least if they want to, they can come out and tell us. They never do. And so we found that there's 5 other jurisdictions that all have private drives. They all came out and said, anyone that's using those words. So no one's actually cased on these cops in any jurisdiction. And we've tried numerous times to explain to these cops, and we keep getting new cops that never were told by the previous cops. So they all come out and they all go, every time.
The calls were did whatever, I guarantee you, I won hundreds, I can't tell you how many, I was there 33 years, started downtown. I was busy, the whole city of Denver times 10, we're talking from Los Angeles, Chicago.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm sure with the statute that you would have to apply.
So I knew this stuff inside and out, and I went to court.
Well, if you want to really, well, if you want
I'm just
to,
saying how it.
if you want to really interest, well, this judge already, well, we got the whole thing dismissed after confidential before. But if you ever want a really interesting audio, we captured every single thing on audio, just prove the point. It's you type in false arrested by Federal Heights Police for holding a sign on a private drive, or Boulder Police, or North Police. And every single time they come out, guns blazing, we try and explain to them that it's private drive, and sometimes we just point to signs that are right there, and they'll write the ticket, and they'll say median, and it'll get dropped, or sometimes they can ask for the tickets back once they realize it, things like that. It's just like, so there's no due process, and so I was just curious, because I ended up, what we do is, like I've already done it for a year, that same private drive. After my brother got arrested, I came in here and they asked the clerk to look at a map to see if that was a private property that was not applicable to the solicitation statute here, 771. And she said, no, you're A-okay. I always call in the same thing to police officers and dispatch. I say, yeah, I'm an anti-abortionist, I'm with the church. And they totally say, yeah, you're okay, absolutely. And so I do it for all for exposing like a second assist type treatment. People are picking up in without
What I can say
statute.
is, buy some property and see what you allow to go on it or not, and then decide how the big picture should be used.
True, but that's the whole point, is that there's a lot of business owners that don't mind it, and they've never touched us. And so it's usually almost exclusively the cops that come out of nowhere. In fact,
Believe me, that we're there because somebody's making an issue.
well,
Sometimes it's because the traffic's disrupted, sometimes it's because the guys are fighting over the corner, you've been there long enough, now it's mine. Sometimes they're drunk and obnoxious, they're trying to get drug money, I tell you, you gotta see it from their side.
but,
I wonder why you're broke because you can't afford the rest of the world because of all the freebies we're giving.
well, true, but there is, correct me if I'm wrong, there always is a safe place that you can exercise your rights, as long as you're not in violation of the statute.
You're trying to
And so, well, there's a lot of case law out there that has actually turned entirely private entities, like mall companies, into public spheres for the purpose of First Amendment speech. That's where all the people go. And so by trying to privatize the shopping centers, that's totally wrong too. And so we go to where the people go. And so we end up near malls and so forth. And we're A-okay every time, except for cops.
Free ball is ground zero. You wouldn't believe how many times I had to pick up poor people like you that got pounded into the sand. Because the rest of them say, officer, do something. I said, they get the right to do that. And the next thing I know, guess who's laying on the ground, bloody nose, bloody everything.
True. But
Because
there's a
the
different,
rest of the
that's a
world,
different type of fight.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
The
On
only
the other
push
hand-
folks that there so long, and certain people are less intolerant than the other. And I'm not saying what they did was right. I'm just saying you can push your rights to the point where some of the world will have big time to do something serious about it. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just
Oh,
saying
yeah,
be
that,
careful.
well, that's the whole point of a right though, is that, I mean,
A lot
it's
of
a right.
mentally ill people to protect them. Because I'm smart enough not to go up to some lady and talk trash to her. Now, either beside her was her husband, or a guy that's coming across the street heard the thing. He said, knock it off, fool, get down the street. And he wants to stand there and go screw and make me, where he says shit to the next lady. They called me, and I said, tell me exactly what happened. Will you sign a complaint? No, just talk to him. That's mental illness. Now, I've put him in mental health for 50 times. And the system says, I got no room for him. He's got to be immediate threat to himself or to others. I need to go in the clinic. So now he's still running the streets. So now he's running his mouth, he's carrying on. A couple people come up to him and say, you're going to be here all day. As soon as you're gone, that some bitch is history. You understand what I'm saying? We had it to hear. If you won't do anything about it, I will. And I says, please don't. I was usually on a motorcycle. Sometimes I'd get a car. I would take them a few blocks out of the way and they said, you're hanging on this corner. I'm trying to protect. And they came down there within 15 minutes. Now I either get the shit kicked out of me, pay the hospital bill, or I put him in jail for disturbing the peace, and I'm complaining, which I wasn't supposed to do. But I write out this thing exactly what happened. Nobody was trying to complain. People are making threats about assault, and now what do you want me to do? And the judge goes, so now what do you do? What do you do?
On that note, two things. The Pan Am statute in Colorado Springs, basically, the ACLU had to come in and tell them, based upon what they had found, that they were basically illegally enforcing the Pan Am statute for hundreds of people without even following a single law. And so they were essentially human trafficking people out without due process. And that only drove up, and that's my second point, is all the Pan Am and so forth and other players. And so when you say what do you do, the biggest problem I see is to shuffle the problem to someone else, and then it ends up coming back to you. And so, we're the cause of our own problems. It's kind of like a step from
Do I let nature take its course?
You know.
The strongest survive?
So-
Do I let them take them in the alley and pound them into oblivion and leave them lay there until they're finally dead? What do you want me to do? What?
give them other resources, places to get a foothold,
You
things
know
like
what they
that.
won't do? They won't take the meds. I don't take meds every day. You take meds every day? You gotta know the other side. I'm telling you,
True.
you have no clue. You may have been out there a little bit, but you have to live
but
it
like,
and manage it, and you go, okay, this is, what do I do?
But see, what I've noticed is that there are almost exclusively no resources given to this lower demographic on any
How
level.
much? right to the bottom
As a-
line,
as a
with
point.
the words that with most people. What do you owe me? You owe me a meal? You owe me a lunch? Do you owe me a house? Do you owe me, what do you owe me?
If I were in your position, a place to lay my
As a
head
person,
to
what do you owe me?
also be protected from the elements. And so far, from Fort Collins, I've been human trafficked out of this town because they won't give me a place to sleep that's protected. I can't go to the shelters
How many-
for several reasons.
Tens of thousands of people you're talking about here, they won't do it. Just let a demo, please ship me your doorway, do whatever else. Give your finger to them and they say, don't do that, please leave.
Statutory
What's the
violations
rest of the world
aside.
gonna do? What's the rest of the world gonna do? You gotta look at both big picture.
Yeah, it's a, what do you call it? It's quality of life violations. But the whole point is if you gave them an actual foothold and say a park to sleep in and police that park.
The detox.
But I mean, a
They're sober,
foothold.
and they offer them a
There's
chance
no.
to stay longer, so they would say.
Can I interrupt you?
Oh, yeah.
Are you supposed to turn that into a
Oh,
third?
yeah, sorry. I'm just
Okay,
going by.
I'll
Hey,
take it
thanks.
from
I
you.
appreciate that, yeah.
This one's yours.
Oh,
I'll
yeah,
take
sure.
this one and I'll get you started. So when you're done, you just need to go back in the courtroom and.
I thought I just needed to drop off, that's all. That's what they said.
The judge will make a decision pretty quick about it.
Exactly, so we can settle this today if there's
I
a
just need to
court-appointed
get,
attorney.
yeah, to get an
We
appointment.
do it today. Instead of waiting till.
He told me I could just, well, I was under the
You
impression
can
that he
just drop
could.
it off, sir, it's just it's easier.
The whole point being is that I'm supposed to catch a
You
bus in
gotta
like
leave, okay.
10 minutes.
Then I will take care of this and I can contact you, right? You said
Please do.
970-412-5463.
Yep, yep.
I'll call you.
Thank you, sorry. Yep.
Did you ever pick up your CD?
Oh, I need to do that too. Is that just sitting
Yeah,
here?
I know you do, so did
It's,
you forget?
No,
Oh,
I've been
okay.
meaning
I
to.
have it.
Can I
So
get
you
it
want
within
it?
a couple
Let me
seconds?
go get it.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Uh-huh.
So what we've noticed is that as people get more frustrated, they start to close down more services, and so now they're taking away microwaves from places like King Soopers that used to offer. They're taking away lobbies, they're closing parks, and as a result, they're sending more people to go to more places, and now they're actually artificially causing the very problem. And so if you reversed all those blanket policies and just gave them a place to foothold, and then only dealt with the statutory violations, if you actually.
Tell me your address, I'll deliver.
No, it's true.
Not kidding.
It's true. A giant parking
Do you
lot.
have a place to live?
No, right now, no. I'm in the same
Your
boat.
brother should do everything in your power to get a place.
Well, that's kind of
I'll
the
bring
human
to
trafficking,
you
is
however
that,
many people you want to camp in your yard or sit in your house doing your bunk bed, whatever it is, I'll be glad to deliver and we'll let you.
That's actually our goal, is to open up a huge parking lot and then just pay for.
That's the bottom line. You have to buy it. The rest of us say, what is this street thing? You want me to make $10 million? You want me to pay for this, and all you have to do is smoke dope, act stupid, and fight all the time and shit in the corner, and I should shut up and do nothing about it or even think about it? That's exactly what you're asking this side to do. That's why there's.
Actually, if you want to know the real truth, what we've noticed is that everybody always addresses the did they do it, and they never figure out why and how they ended up in there in the first place. We need better schooling. We need better mental health in the first place. We need also people to be able to live affordably in the first place.
And you pay for it. That's what
Yeah,
the problem is.
yeah. Let's put it this way. You guys end up being more of a pound of cure. And so we got to figure out where that ounce of prevention is. It's very expensive to do the pound of cure. But you're right, yeah. If I were a cop, I would be equally as frustrated. And that's why I'm after the ounce of prevention.
You have to manage.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, how many people am I gonna support for free? They can do whatever they damn well please. On top of the other side's going, I'm tired of paying the bill here. What are you guys gonna do to manage this a little better? We paid for them to go to school, they didn't go. We paid for them to go see the doctor, and they got drunk instead. Finally, they're so bad off, they're laying on the street with cirrhosis of liver. Now I'm supposed to spend $1 million to fix their cirrhosis of liver, and if they wouldn't cooperate, wouldn't meet the 2 seconds. Now, you're talking by tens of thousands on this, and I'm not joking about the numbers. Denver Health alone, 785 million free services provided out of a $1.2 billion budget for the year in 1998, 1999. It's even worse now. So all I gotta do is go to the bar, run my mouth, get shot, get stabbed, step in front of the car, jump off the roof, do whatever I well please, and I'm supposed to shut up and pay the bill, and it's just none of my damn business to shut up and pay the bill. That's why we're in dire straits.
Very true.
I had guys that had 5 women in 1 year pregnant, bragging about it, tell me how great they were, and I'm there because they're beating the last girl up. And they're bragging to me how they got 5 girls pregnant. Me and you are paying for that, at least me.
Yeah.
And every time I get my paycheck, and half of it's gone. I mean gone. Every time, because I'm stupid enough to work, and that's how much they take from me to pay for the rest of it. When you get your face rubbed in that every day, it's hard to swallow. And I've been doing this for 45 years.
Well, I'll tell you where things are that could be improved that are definitely going wrong, and that's where we end up in a group bunched in category because we have to share the same areas with this lower demographic. But we're definitely not that type of person. We're responsible. We're following our law and so forth. But the cops come out and literally treat us like we are that, and then when we exonerate ourselves by pointing out it's a private drive, they ignore us. They continue with their false arrests. So my brother and I have been false arrested 55 times, we counted, in the last 2.5 years because we are sharing that same area, and people are trying to excuse it because they have to throw out the baby with the bathwater because there are a few people ruin it for the rest. But you should be able to tell the difference. And so we're getting falsely in prison. We're about to file a ton of 42 USCs because nobody cares to actually follow their elements anymore. They're just getting the guys. Oh, yeah.
Okay, what happened?
I get found not guilty every time. Most of them never get to trial. We usually talk to the prosecutors. They reason with us eventually. Sometimes we'll go to trial and they'll lie, the cops will lie and try and cover it all up unsuccessfully. Sometimes even successfully. We've been wrongfully convicted of places like we can prove later we weren't in the park because we found a lease for the area and it's like totally not a park. And so that's the scary thing is we're finding that people they don't even know the statutes anymore. That's why I reference this panhandling thing. We've caught 10 jurisdictions now, not even using an element in the entire book, and because they see a homeless guy, they just think, we got him, and then they quickly realize that they don't, and then they racketeer out of it, and they lie and cover up on their police reports and pretend that we're not watching, and we're usually recording. And so that's the scary, is that you always got to use your elements no matter what. Use the statutes.
Right there.
Yeah,
Okay.
but it's just it's like a big math problem, and if cops were to use more of their statutes, we could get more accurate stats, and from there. Right now, every homeless person doesn't know their rights. They don't even, and so a lot of these places that we're finding, people have told us to plead out on our charges that were bogus, and then we went to court and we won because they were bogus. And so we're, people aren't fighting for people's rights, but.
Not this person, they have his name on the back saying, they're on this thing here, and I know it's not the public thoroughfare, they're telling me to make a thing. Now, my job, here's a complaint, here's a demarcation line, they're saying they control it. They're the ones I listed as a witness on the back, so I just write my ticket.
Yep, as long as you got your elements covered, you're good to go. We're catching people regularly now. Like we'll stand out there and maybe 20 good cops will drive by, even some that will tell us that that's totally okay, and then I guess we pick up the one racist cop or something. I don't know. It's really bad.
Because when you go through this fall, when people say, well, why didn't you do this? And it's just, this ain't the only thing I got to do.
It's true.
When I'm going to the fight over here with weapons, or I'm going to the family fight, or this,
I would agree that we've delegated way too much responsibility.
I just can't stop and say, excuse me, I'm busy, but don't.
Yeah, no, I agree. We've delegated way too many different tasks for one entity to deal with. When you guys, and that way, the problem is that you don't know all your elements because there's so many different laws out there to know that people start using excuses that I don't need to know this big thing book, but you are tasked with upholding all of the governing law. So you have to know your book. So we're on two sides of the problem that we're both looking for a solution. I agree, but what we at least got to start doing is stop profiling people. Like, because we get profiled all the time. This is a case where I got profiled, and they're felonies. They totally lied on their police reports. If you go on and look it up, it's bad. They're lying against Trump. I can't put it. But there's plenty of good cops out there. But we seem to be picking up the bad ones. So I'm really sorry. Good talking though. But seriously, go look it up. False arrested by Federal Heights Police. There are 5 occasions now where people have tried to move us from that private median without a legal law investigation. Every time. And every time we talk them through it, and they usually get it. Sometimes they don't.
So it's kind of scary. What I'm concerned about is I want someone to tell the other cops to stop doing it so that we can stop being bugged. It's unnecessary. Yeah. The channel in its entirety, oh, sorry, is guilty until proven innocent. We put all our 55 false imprisonments up on YouTube. So we get like, you know, to prove the point, I didn't show my receipt at a Walmart once and I got arrested for shoplifting. So that's like totally backwards, you know? Like, and then I show them the receipt and they're like, oh, can we take our ticket back? And it's like, come on, you're going through your investigation, blah, blah, blah. Serious stuff, but thanks, man, for talking. Take care.